So hello, welcome to the Expat Pod and welcome to the shorter version of the podcast. It's all about 10 quick fire questions. This week I'm joined by Xenia, who's a Russian living in Netherlands, who is now a Dutch citizen. So well done for spending all that time and committing your life to getting that far. Let's just start with the first question, which is, what's your favourite place you've lived?
Oh, favorite place. Oh my God. So I have a division between towns that I like to visit and places I would live. For example, Rome, beautiful. Would not like to live there, right? Barcelona, would love to be there, but I actually prefer Madrid for living. But the best destination I've ever lived at is Berlin. I actually studied in Germany, and I lived in Berlin, and that was one of the best times in my life. And I think everyone has to go live in Berlin, or at least sometime.
Yeah, I liked Potsdam, but no, it's not Berlin, but it's close enough. It's very beautiful.
I did study at the University of Potsdam. I did live in Potsdam, and I love Potsdam, actually. I want to live in Potsdam when I retire, because it's Potsdam is for rich old Germans, and I aspire to be one day.
What a wonderful way to end it. What's your favourite international food?
Noodles, the ramen, hands down. I used to think that I liked pizza, then I thought that I liked sushi. But my comfort food of all times, especially because as a vegetarian, ramen could be delicious. It could be vegan with tofu or tempeh. It could be vegetarian with an egg. It's just, oh my God. Any day of the week, any time of the day, I could eat ramen.
Wonderful. And what's your favourite international tradition?
For example, I really like New Year's Eve. I like to celebrate New Year's Eve, and I like to learn what people in their countries like to do on New Year's Eve. Last New Year's Eve, I celebrated in Iceland, and there they make a huge bonfire from crates and all stuff, just like from old wood. And then they also love fireworks. So it was, the fireworks kept going from 11:30 to 1:30. It was crazy. And in the Netherlands, for example, what they like to do is they like to make oliebollen. This is just fried dough. It could be usually sweet with some raisins or powdered sugar. And in Russia, what they like to do is they make a wish. You have to make a wish while the clock strikes 12. And for most dedicated people, you have to write the wish on a piece of paper, burn it, put it in your champagne, and drink it while the clock strikes 12. That's quite a big task.
I thought the Dutch one might be going into the sea, because it's quite a popular tradition in The Hague, right?
Yeah, but that's only on the 1st of January. I've never done it, but maybe I should. It sounds like a good tradition.
What's your favorite thing about living abroad?
I'm crazy about learning languages. Like I said before, I like to learn language of the country I live in, and I speak 6 languages: Russian, German, Polish, Spanish, and Dutch. Yes, that's the 6. Oh, in English as well. I forgot. The one we're speaking right now. So when I go to another country, I always try to learn how to say a couple of things in that language. One of the hardest languages for me have been Greek, surprisingly, and Hungarian, because it's a very rare language, and I, for the life of me, could not remember anything. And that's one of the languages that also, it says Liverpool and it's pronounced Manchester. It's really a difficult pronunciation in the language.
What's your best homesickness remedy?
I feel that people from the global south express their love through food. And so, when you go to Italy, people would say like, oh, please eat this and that. When you go to India, they will harass you into saying, no, please eat. This is for you. I will be mad if you don't eat it. And it's the same in Russia. And that's why if I ever feel homesick, I just make Russian food. When it was Orthodox Christmas, I made Russian honey cake, all the different salads we make. And also, I was in Iceland, so I bought caviar. And I made a treat for my friends as well.
So what's the hardest thing about living abroad?
I don't know. I mean, I love it. Whenever I go and wherever I go, I always feel like home. And maybe because there are so many Russians everywhere. I just remember I was visiting Berlin for the first time in my life. I was 18, first time abroad. There was a happy hour in an absinthe bar, and we got really drunk. And it's 1 a.m. and we're waiting for a tram, and I was like screaming in Russian, saying like, "Oh my God, I want to smoke right now!" And there was a guy at the bus stop, and he heard me, and he spoke Russian coincidentally, and he offered me a last cigarette in his pack. So I don't know. Wherever I go, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I do belong wherever I go most of the time. And I love being abroad.
This is very interesting. What's the best phrase you've learned in any language that you speak?
Okay, I will tell about the Dutch language because my in-laws are from the south of the Netherlands, which is close to Belgium. And there is a different dialect than the one that's spoken in Amsterdam or The Hague. And this dialect is very, it's kind of like rednecky. So kind of like the rednecks of the Netherlands.
It's not Flemish.
Yeah, it is kind of like Flemish. It's Brabant and this dialect. And my father-in-law speaks this dialect at home. So I could not understand what he was saying for years on end, right? And one of the phrases that they say in Brabant is "stink naar de bok." It means smells like a male goat, and it is translated as like something is stinky. So he's like, "Oh, stink naar de bok." So now I know a couple of other phrases like if you come in and don't close the door after yourself, they say "Ben je in de kerk geboren," which means were you born in a church? So you have to close after yourself. And the most salacious one is broekpoling, which is literally eel in the pants. So you know what that means.
What's your best way of making new friends?
Even though I am actually an introvert, I especially when I learn new languages, I just talk to anyone who would listen. And then when I was studying in Germany, I wanted to practice my German as much as possible. And so I saw some people approaching everyone, and everyone was like, didn't want to talk to them. So when they came to me, they asked me if I believed in God. So they were the Jehovah's Witnesses, and no one wanted to talk to them. And I was like, that's a great opportunity to practice my German. And so I chatted with them for an hour about God and Bible. And they even gave me their email address. And maybe they thought that they convinced me to join their religion, but I was just being nice and using them to speak German.
What's the best thing to do in your new hometown?
When I first moved to a new, away from my parents' house, me and my friends wanted to find a bar or a place where we could meet, like in this shows like Friends or How I Met Your Mother. They always hang out either at this coffee shop or at the bar. So we found a bar to be like, meet me at our place. And so when you move to a new town, get that bar, and then you will get your people as well. And then you will be like, meet me at our place.
That's really cute. I like that quite a lot. It's like an inside joke. It's really cool to have. And lastly, I guess, what's your best expat life hack?
Okay, so how I learned Dutch very quickly is that I was taking free magazines and newspapers from the supermarket. You know, they always have the supermarket newspaper with, sale today, tomatoes are at 3 for €2. I don't know, right? And so I would take those newspapers and would just read them because they are easy. They have words like sale, for free, gratis, gratis. They have words that are food, so you could be like, oh, okay, that's the food. And, it's just an easy way to learn the most basic words in the language that you can get, which is food, vegetables, numbers, for free, and sale. That's all you need to survive.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for gracing me with your
Wisdom.
and then your wisdom. And yeah, hopefully everyone's enjoyed this podcast who's listened to it this far. Thank you for I guess giving me your time, and thank you for listening as well. And hopefully, if you do like it, you may follow it and you may subscribe to it and you may share it with your friends and tell everyone to just listen. And if you do know someone who is looking to be abroad or is living abroad, then please do share it with them, because they may find something interesting in hopefully what we talk about. Because no matter if you're moving abroad next week or you've been living abroad for 5 years, there's always still something you can always learn, and we have to be able to do that. So thank you, and we'll see you next time for the Expat Pod.